Hello, and welcome back to the Minetrek.net game server. I believe this will be update 39 of the Enterprise E build. Quite a bit's been going on in the old gal here since the last update, mostly along this deck here, just detailing out this deck, spending a lot of time working on it. I've done some work down in the security complex as well as the medical complex. I'll show that to you here in a bit. But most of the bulk of my time in the last couple of days has been working in this section of the ship, doing some of the detail work, putting in some of the, the walls, the corridors, the flooring, the roof, the corridor roofing, as well as planning for the other areas of the ship. This area will be filled out once the ship is mirrored because it's in the center of the ship. But I did get the waste systems installed, and I'll show you those in more detail. I actually have an area down below us that kind of shows them, but I want to show you the center room here real quick. This is the center of the waste reclamation part of the ship, or well, the primary hall anyways. There are a lot of subsystems and things like that do the same thing, but this is the big one. This is the big Kuna, and it's a 3-room setup. And there's a big area over there, which I actually knocked out a wall, repurposed a corridor, and seized half another room to make. So it all came together pretty good, and I'll show that to you here in a bit. But yeah, I gotta say, it looks pretty decent in here. A good use of space, good use of the room. I haven't known if Tim's seen it yet, but I hope when he does see it, I hope he likes it, because this is pretty much the design he came up with for the Voyager, just set up for the Sovereign. Well, for the Enterprise E anyways. So what I did when it came time to set up the waste, I guess Reprocessing Center, is I went ahead and added the systems that we have similar to those in Voyager and Defiant. And this right here used to be a corridor that went all the way through to this corridor, and then this room here was all part of the transceiver array. But we didn't really need this entire space to be used as the transceiver array. So what I did is I extended this tank, made this tank a lot larger, and used the catwalk as a guideline for the new wall. So now we have the upper catwalk, which of course you can see the transceiver array, and this will all be the transceiver array systems as well. And then you can come through here and go up the ladder to the catwalk or into the Waste Reclamation Center. Now this is a 3-part system, and all these tubes and stuff all feed into here, which I got to add the glass back here. I'm still working on this process here. Card. I forgot to put the black in there first. There we go. This might change because below us is a shield generator on both port and starboard sides. In this compartment, it's a 2-story compartment. So what I did here is I took the central systems and I spread them out just a little bit more. So you have a double walkway here, but I extended them up to here. So there's 4 of these instead of 2, plus the 2 that are over there and the 2 that are over there. So this is actually a larger system than that's in Voyager. Now I'm going to leave this area open, and I'm going to put some guardrails up. This is a good use of guardrails. Just saying. Go through here like this. Of course, anybody that has fly mode can just whoop right over the top of them. And they come back here to this section here. Oops, darn it, cred muffin. You can easily walk through here like this. I'm going to leave this area open. It's sort of, cautionary thing. So we drop down here. Again, this line goes over under the floor. If you tore up you can see it right here. It goes through here like so. Let's go over here real quick. You can see the port side is also set up. It's the inorganic waste slurry tank, and then they have these things just like we do in the central hub all the way around. And again, I extended this area back. I had to finesse it a little bit, but as you can see, it looks pretty good. So now what I'll be doing is I'll be working on this system in here, the transceiver array, which is a little bit bigger, but what's nice now is that I only have to mirror this section over and stuff, and instead of having to worry about everything else, because everything else is pretty much laid out. And these are lifeboat systems, I believe. Yeah, I still have to place a lot of the lifeboat systems on deck 6 here, as well as all the stuff through here. And I darn near foobarred myself. Let's get over here real quick. I was in here working on the cleaning up the walls and stuff in here for this department, for this compartment here. All of the redstone for the airlock, main airlock back there, is contained within the system right here. So, battery EPS distribution node aft, airlock redstone. Please do not alter or change this room in any way, shape, or form. You can half slab it, but don't tear out into the roof, as you will totally screw me over. And then I'd have to rip it out and beat somebody with a cotton block for it. I have not placed the batteries or the EPS relay system in here yet. I will do that. It's a big list for just one small deck, and I tell you, there are offices on this deck, and there are other things on this deck that still have to be placed. All the systems through here, you know, the systems in here, the systems in here. The Hollow Suite systems, which are on the other side over there, are actually on the deck below us. I'm getting a bit of a lag spike here recording. I don't know what's causing it. But I do have all the carpet in. You can see I don't have the roof in yet in here, so that's another thing I have to do. I do have the roof up in the corridors and all the patterns on the corridors done, and you can kind of see the pattern. The roof pattern kind of silhouettes the bottom, the red. So if you're walking along here, if you're placing these, just use the floor pattern. It'll help you set up and place this pattern to be a little bit more. So as you see, it kind of matches it pretty closely. So there are areas where it probably won't match, and again, you know, you do what you can do. This will be a small transporter system, which is also set up to go above the transporter, which I have to actually do on both port and starboard sides. So I'll do it up there, then I'll just local mirror it over to the port side, because that deck up there has already been mirrored. Some things, you know, you can't do. These are all crew quarters and so forth. Run down through here real quick. I do have all the systems, I believe, forward of us in place. Little EPS ODN junction bay room. These are slightly different styling than the Jeffries tubes. They're more or less for ODN EPS junction bays. Yeah. Some EPS junction bays actually have small little devices and stuff in them. Some are so large, or excuse me, large they can't fit them in. Some are small, they can't fit them in. This will be another sensor systems. I haven't really figured out what I'm going to do with that yet. I guess I could look at the Voyager, but I think the sensor systems on the Voyager are pretty large. So this would probably be something along the lines of a new system, or new component that I have to design, or Heller will have to design. But I do have the SIF IDF W. That W is in error. That'll finally get replaced in. This is the same system that's on the deck, on all the decks. It's actually taken right out of the Voyager, so this is our SIF IDF generator right here. Come through here, we got all the lift stuff at lift, but the forward Jeffries tube in. Again, another little ODN closet here, a little service closet. Anyways, I don't have this room set up yet. I'll have to get this. This is some equipment storage, so it'll just be some containers, a little bit of dividers and things like that. Very similar to what we have on Voyager, as well as the Defiant. This is a rec room. I'm not really sure. I'm going to ask either Blue Phobes or maybe Matt or perhaps Bomb will want to do something in here. I'd like to mirror it before, or have it done before we mirror, but if I have to do it myself, it'll be just a real generic. It'll have a floor pattern, a couple of chairs, and that'll be it. Maybe some plants, because I am a lazy bastard when it comes to that stuff. Same thing with this. This is another head. This will have to be done up by Mad or Blue. Those guys like the small room decorate. At least, I think Blue does. I don't know about Mad. Mad's more of a large rec room kind of guy. He's really good at it, too. This was particularly interesting to do these. You come around here, you go, oh, it's kind of open through here. Well, that's actually intention. These are shield ribbings, or as I don't know how to explain it. The way it works is
think of these like radiator fins that radiate out shield. I don't know. I can't explain the science behind it, but it's the only thing I could think of to put in here that would kind of, I mean, that's actually what the sign said to put in here, but these are the way I designed it. Because, to be honest with you, it's a new system I've never, you know, designed before, so I had to come up with something for it. And it's one of those odd spaces. So, and nodes are, you know, nodes. So, I also put some bracing in here, a little bit of structural bracing, because it also, there was a sign here that said braces, so I put the braces in. I like those braces. I might actually use those a little bit more often if I can. A little bit bigger. This sign is actually here, shield grid reinforcement nodes. So that's what these are, all shield grid reinforcement nodes. These are slightly different than these ones. These are more along the lines of, I guess, capacitors, I want to say, or energizers. They store a little bit of extra juice. So if this system takes a hit, it can, before the ship can compensate, these are more or less, I guess, capacitors, compensators, sort of a thing. They just sort of help regulate the power so that the nodes always stay positively charged, supported, I guess.
And here is the waste reclamation setup. Again, this one here, the center one, has actually 2 levels, and the other level's in the ship. It's not down here. But yeah, I took the system that was in the Voyager and dolled it up a little bit to be put into this ship. And again, what I did is originally this corridor here came all the way across into there, and this was one big room through here. And I realized, well, if I follow the catwalk with this wall, I can isolate this wall for the transceiver, and it still has the catwalk stuff above it, which looks really cool when compared to when you're looking down into this stuff. So I was like, yeah, that'll work out really well. And we really did not need this corridor here because we have the one up here, you know. And so I figured, well, you know what, let's go ahead and expand this room. And that's what I did. And I was able to fit these systems in here pretty much verbatim from what we have on the Voyager, which is some minor changes. I did make this tank larger, and the reason for that is it just needed to be larger so that it would fill out the space, and I couldn't have 2 of the identical sized tanks because then it would take up all the space and there would be no way to get around it. Well, you could use the catwalk above it. Yeah, true, but I didn't want to do that. So I've been working on the medical complex here a little bit, doing a little bit of reworking and filling in some stuff. Got some walls up. Woohoo! Yay! Anyways, come through here and turn off Gamma Bright and get a little bit of the ambiance. Pretty reminiscent of the lower medical bay. You see down in the secondary hall. Go ahead and turn Gamma Bright back on. A little bit of an exam room going on here. Got a little piston thingamajiggy. Come down, this will be like a little office where she sits here, tells people where to go. There are a couple of bathrooms that have been filled in yet. Well, one bathroom, this one. I used to have another one on the other side, but I decided to get rid of it because I just didn't have the space for it. In order to pull this off, I couldn't have that little corner where there'd be a bathroom. So what I did too is I redesigned it so that there's a little corridor that comes out here that allows us to go into this part of the medical bay, as well as the research part of the medical bay, our deck area complex. And then over here, they're not the same. And I can't get away from that because of the fact that this, well, you know, it really should be the same, but they're not. Because there's a little area here, and then over here it's an office. So, subtle differences. And yeah, it's pretty narrow, but, you know, what can I do? It's about the width of a single door. It is what it is. And again, it comes over here and goes into here, into this ward. And this is the chief medical officer's little office. She has like a little bed, you know, change room there, because sometimes they're going to be on duty for quite a while. Of course, her personal bathroom, her head. These are surgical suites. There are 6 of them, I believe, total through this deck. And this is the main complex, and there are additional complexes throughout the ship. Those are basically first aid stations, and they just come with a standard bio bed, no
which can also double as an operational bed, but these are actually dedicated operational suites. So this is the sterile surgical suites. Did a nice job in here. This way here, if they need to do an organ transplant, they can do it to this person, and so on and so forth. And then we have, I think this is the critical care. Yeah, this is this, well, sick bay, critical care. I don't know what you call it. Little exam room here. And this is based off of materials that I got from Impeller. So in the security deck here, I made these the security hollow suites, and instead of the one that was back here, because I really couldn't fit a hollow suite system back there, and I decided to go ahead and turn this one into a head and add some interrogation rooms. I'll show you here another little interrogation room. And then this is the area that when somebody is actually brought into security, this is the booking area. They can put them in here, but basically they take them down through here, and they can take them into holding, and if need be they can take them right into here into holding. So yeah, you know, secure holding and then holding. I got the lighting up in all the cargo deck here. You can see it's all in. I turn off the lights, get that nice little glow effect, which is kind of neat. I mean, all the roofs are in, all the areas here, all the way around, all the way forward, all the half slabs in. I have not done these rooms yet, as I haven't decided how to do those rooms. This is a corridor, so this will be probably be slabbed as well, but I don't know yet. This is an iconic. I mean, look at that. Tell me I'm gonna screen cap that. That's you know, one of those rare things that just looks so good. But yeah, I grabbed a screen cap. I did it. I'll admit it. I grabbed a screen cap. Yes, we know the Enterprise E is cut in half. Just saying. And I'm flying through the corridors. Whee! I have no idea where I'm going. Just flying. And here we are running through deck 6 as fast as we can go. Kind of an odd sensation. There we were in the bow of the ship, now we're heading back towards the stern. This area here, I really did not like it. I felt it was just too cramped. As you can see, the cargo transporter is now in on the port as well as the starboard side. And this area came out to be a little bit better than I figured, especially when I repurposed that up there to be more of an open area. I did squeeze in the transporter systems. Whoops. So they are in now. Well, for all intents and purposes, deck 6 has been mirrored. It took a little bit longer than I'd expected. Running into some, I don't know, issues that were kind of bothering me, but yeah, what can you do? Got to adapt to overcome them. But yeah, it did. It's all mirrored. Everything's lined up correctly. Everything's spaced. I went ahead and filled in all the systems above us here. If I can jump up in here, except on this side, of course. I have to go and get it and actually mirror this section in separately, because this part of the ship was already mirrored, whereas this part wasn't. So this part is done over there on the starboard side, but it's not done here on the port side. So I do believe, well, let's just see what we got going on here. I know I did some other stuff here, but I don't know where it's at. All of this stuff is in, including the shield node and so forth. I just have that one section there I'll have to mirror over real quick, and once that's done, we should be golden. Here's the deck layout. There we go. Yeah, go a little over. You can see the deck layout now for this deck. It's kind of a nice little design. Of course, now this will probably be copied by everybody and their brother. I invented this deck plans for the Sovereign. Oh, absolutely you did it, because you didn't just copy it from this image. Oh, no. No, no, no. Please. Sigh. Anywho. But yeah, Deck 6 here has been mirrored. It's been quite a bit of a process. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, this is the Minetrek.net game server. If you'd hit that like button for me, I'd greatly appreciate it. Feel free to visit us on the Facebook and like us there as well. And if you feel like donating to the server, please do so. Miller appreciates all and any donations that people lend. It helps keep the server up and running smooth. So again, if you do donate, much thanks, and have a great day. Bye-bye.